Have you ever sat in the quiet of your room, completely alone, feeling utterly defeated? You pray, you cry, you promise God, with tears in your eyes, that you will never, ever go back to that habit again. You swear you are done with that toxic relationship, that hidden addiction, that endless scrolling that numbs your mind. But then, a few days pass. The urge hits you out of nowhere. And before you even realize what is happening, you are right back where you started. Why does this happen? Why do so many true believers, so many chosen ones, stay trapped in this exhausting cycle of guilt and shame? Today, we are going to expose a very uncomfortable truth. Most people are fighting the battle for self-control at the completely wrong level. By the end of this video, you are going to walk away with 7 practical, deeply biblical habits that actually work. I am not going to give you empty motivation. I am going to give you the exact spiritual blueprint to finally break those chains, protect your peace, and step into the authority God has designed for you. This is the truth that will set you free. So, take a deep breath, settle in, and let us uncover this together. You see, my friend, if you are a chosen one, your lack of self-control is not just a simple character flaw. It is an active spiritual warfare. The enemy knows that if he can keep you distracted, if he can keep you feeling condemned and broken, you will never step into your true calling. He uses toxic environments, and he uses the lingering voices of narcissists from your past to drain your spiritual energy. And when you are drained, when you are walking alone through a difficult wilderness season, that is exactly when your flesh is the most vulnerable. Listen to me very carefully. God is not mad at you for struggling. He is actually allowing you to see your own human weakness so that you will stop relying on your own willpower and start leaning entirely on His divine protection. But how do we actually do that in our daily lives? How do we stop failing and start overcoming? Let us look at habit number 1. You must build a rhythm, not motivation. Most people wait until they feel strong to do the right thing. They wait for a sudden burst of energy or an emotional moment at church to finally say no to temptation. That is exactly why they fall. The Bible never tells us to rely on our feelings. Feelings change like the wind. Instead, the Bible teaches us to build discipline through rhythm. Think about the story of Daniel. The decree was signed that anyone who prayed to anyone but the king would be thrown into the lion's den. Picture that terrifying scene. The heavy, dark shadow of a death sentence was hanging over his head. The pressure to conform, to hide, to compromise was immense. But what did Daniel do? He did not panic. He did not wait until he felt brave. Daniel chapter 6 verse 10 tells us that he went home, knelt down as usual, and prayed 3 times a day. Listen closely to those 2 words, as usual. That is the ultimate secret. His spiritual discipline protected him long before the danger ever arrived. Here is the truth you need to anchor in your soul today. Self-control grows when your decisions are made in advance. When prayer, when reading the Word, when setting firm boundaries becomes your non-negotiable daily routine, temptation completely loses its power to negotiate with you. You do not have to sit there and ask yourself, should I do this? You already made the choice yesterday. Small, quiet, daily acts of obedience build a solid fortress of real self-control around your mind. This brings us directly to habit number 2. You have to guard the door early. Most people try to fight temptation after it is already sitting comfortably in their mind. By that point, the door is wide open. The enemy is inside the house, and the battle is almost certainly lost. The Bible teaches prevention, not reaction. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 gives us a very clear, powerful command. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. That word, guard, does not mean casually brushing off a bad thought. It means setting up a heavy, impenetrable gate to protect your soul before the damage ever happens. It means paying close attention to what you are watching on your phone late at night. It means being absolutely ruthless about the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, and the thoughts you allow to linger in your head. Self-control is infinitely easier when temptation is never allowed to enter your sacred space in the first place. Think about it like dealing with a toxic relationship. You do not try to manage a narcissist. You block their access to your life completely. It is the exact same with sin. When the door of your heart is strictly guarded by the truth of the Bible, the spiritual battle never even starts. You have the authority, through Christ, to lock that door right now. Now, let us move deeper into the heart of this transformation with habit number 3. You must replace the desire. Most people fail because they focus all of their energy on just trying to stop a bad habit. They white-knuckle their way through the day, screaming no at their cravings and trying to keep their mind a complete blank. But here is the spiritual reality. An empty space never stays empty for long. If you clear out a house but leave the doors unlocked and the rooms vacant, the old tenants will eventually find their way back in. The Bible teaches us something much stronger than just avoidance. It teaches us replacement. Psalm 119, verse 11 says, "I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you." Think about the weight of that. David did not just try to avoid the dark. He flooded his soul with the light of God's truth. He stored something far more powerful inside of him so that there was simply no room left for the old desires to take root. Here is the truth. Self-control grows when a greater, more beautiful desire takes over your life. When reading scripture replaces mindless scrolling, when quiet prayer replaces impulsive reactions, and when the presence of God becomes more satisfying than the temporary high of a sin, your old temptations will naturally start to weaken. You do not win this war by just saying no louder. You win by filling your heart with something better, something eternal, and something that actually satisfies the deep hunger in your soul. This leads us to habit number 4, which is perhaps the most practical and challenging one of all. You must flee. You do not flirt. So many people, especially those of us who feel strong in our faith, try to see just how close we can get to the edge without actually falling over. We stay in the conversation just a little too long. We keep the app on our phone just in case. We hang out in places where we know our weaknesses will be tested, thinking we can handle it. But the Bible is very direct about this. It does not say reason with immorality. It does not say negotiate with your old life. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 18 gives us a one-word command: flee, run away, do not look back. It does not say to stay and pray longer, and it does not say to stand your ground and fight harder. It says to get out of there as fast as you can. Think about Joseph in the house of Potiphar. When he was cornered and tempted, he did not try to explain his theology to Potiphar's wife. He did not try to fix her or stay to show how disciplined he was. He literally ran out of the room, leaving his cloak behind. Here is the truth you must accept today. Some spiritual battles are only won by distance. Self-control, in its highest form, often looks like wisdom in action. It looks like shutting the app immediately when a bad image appears. It looks like leaving the room when the gossip starts. It looks like ending a toxic conversation before it drains your spirit. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of ultimate spiritual maturity. It is knowing your limits and honoring God more than your pride. Finally, for this section, let us look at habit number 5. You must strengthen your spirit daily. Most people spend all their time and energy focusing on the flesh, the part of them that wants to mess up. They analyze their failures, they beat themselves up, and they obsess over their cravings. But the Bible tells us to change our focus entirely. Galatians 5, verse 16 says, "Walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh." Notice the divine order here. It does not say, stop the flesh so that you can walk in the Spirit. It says to walk in the Spirit first. Here is the truth. The stronger your spirit becomes, the quieter and less significant your cravings will feel. Think of it like physical training. If you have been starving your spirit of prayer, scripture, and worship, Your flesh is naturally going to take over because it is the only thing being fed. But when you make it a priority to feed your spirit every single morning, when you soak in God's presence before you face the world, you are building spiritual muscle. These habits are not just religious chores, they are your daily strength training. If you starve your spirit, your flesh will rule you. But if you feed your spirit, self-control will follow as a natural fruit of your connection to God. You will find yourself saying no to things that used to destroy you, and you will wonder why they ever had such a hold on you in the first place. That is the power of a spirit that is fully alive and well-fed. Moving to habit number 6. You don't walk alone. Most people lose their self-control in the shadows of isolation. They think they can fight their private battles by themselves because they are embarrassed, or they think they are strong enough. But the Bible never designed spiritual growth to happen in a vacuum. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verses 9 and 10 says, "Two are better than one. If either of them falls, one can help the other up." Isolation weakens your restraint, but accountability reinforces it like steel. Here is the truth. Sin grows in secrecy, but self-control grows in the light. You don't need a huge audience. You just need one trusted voice. One person who can check in on you, someone who will tell you the hard truth, and someone who won't let you hide in your excuses. That is how real, lasting habits are forged. Finally, habit number 7. You must decide who you serve daily. Most people fail at self-control because they never actually make a final, sovereign decision. They are constantly trying to balance their obedience to God with their temporary desires for the world. They are living in the middle, and the middle is a dangerous place to be. The Bible calls for absolute clarity. Joshua 24 verse 15 says, "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve." Self-control is not just a habit problem, it is a lordship decision. Here is the truth. Whatever you obey is what you are serving. Every urge you answer is a vote for your old life. Every habit you repeat is a choice for your master. When God is not clearly chosen as your king every single morning, your flesh will automatically fill that gap. But when the decision is settled, the temptation loses its authority over you. So, here is the question that most people avoid. If your daily habits reveal who you are truly serving, what do your habits say about you right now? You don't lose your self-control all at once. You lose it one unchecked habit at a time. And the scariest part? Most people never notice because nothing dramatic happens at first. But ask yourself, if you kept living exactly like this for the next 30 days, who would you become? Before you move on, I want you to do one thing. Type the word discipline in the comments if you are choosing control over your impulses right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but starting today. This action isn't for me. It is a marker for your own soul. And if you are serious about building a life that truly honors God, make sure to follow this page. In our next message, we are going to break down the one silent mistake that destroys self-control for most believers. You do not want to miss it. Stay strong and walk in the authority you were given.